Hello and welcome back to CITAM ChurchOnline Youth Cafe, and I'm here with
Becher Karanja
and
Ogutu.
Now, thank you so much for the feedback that you've given us, sliding into our DM and, commenting and everything. We love your feedback. And one of the, the comments that we got in the videos that we did last week, there's a lady, we'll withhold the identity, who basically wrote back and said this: the main undoing for many victims of emotional abuse is lack of both financial strength and family support. So most of the times you put up with because you have no otherwise.
Wow.
What's your take on that?
I think that's true. That's true because you'll find that to some they recognize that they're actually going through emotional abuse, but there's pretty much you can do about it, externally speaking. For instance, you are a young person and where you live at home, you're being emotionally abused. Definitely as a person, it's good to take a step and tell guys, this is not right. So talk about it. But in essence, if you realize this person is not changing, the truth of it all is that you can actually purpose to change yourself in the sense that what you allow to affect you or not. Because I can tell you it's not easy. Some people are in marriages and you find they are being emotionally abused. So you can't just wake up and say from today, don't do it. You can say that, but you find it's still happening, it's still going on. And I believe, for me, whenever you find there's a problem or there's a conflict in a situation, the best person to change is self. Self. So work on self. So will you allow this person to affect you in terms of what they say and what they do? So what you allow and what you absorb within you is, for me, is way much important than you trying to change the other person.
Wow. That is true. And what's your take?
Just like what Reverend Becher has said, people find themselves in very tough situations, even in terms of being emotionally abused, and I'm just trying to look at it in terms of family support. Probably you're not getting that support, and maybe you are in that family setup where it could be your parent and you're a young person, your parent is the one emotionally abusing you. It could be one of your siblings who is emotionally abusing you, and you're wondering, so where do I go? Is there a way out for me? And I think my advice will be, don't let that, don't get your identity from that abuse, so to speak. Know that you are more than that. And I like what you say, that you're able to filter. You're able to filter and say, okay, this will not affect me, and this will affect me. And especially if you develop strong emotional intelligence, where you're able to say, I will not keep up with this. In some instances, you actually need to confront and don't tolerate it. You say, you just have to stand up and say, no, this is not going to continue. Hopefully they won't kick you outside the house, for your parents, so to say. But I think just being able to have that kind of a boundary, firm boundaries, and saying, this is the farther we can go with this, And then, of course, it's good to have a support system. If you have friends whom you can talk to, if you have a pastor, if you have a counselor somewhere, so a confidant, you can just go and talk to them. There's something that happens when you begin to speak it out. Because at times we leave things and it boils within us. Then one time it just explodes. People are wondering, what really happened to that person? So get somebody you can just talk to and just pour out your heart as well to them.
So counseling is important, especially in a situation of a marriage where maybe as a woman you're financially dependent on this person, their family, they're the ones who are emotionally abusing you. So it's good to have the intervention of a third party, like a counselor and everything, so you can open up and everything. One of the comments we also got was if someone is in such a situation, they should be able to speak up and say no to such abuse and seek help if need be. Agreed.
Yes.
I think, Mercy, you did mention about this. You should be able to speak up. I remember being in a relationship that was, I would say, was emotionally abusive, where the person really looked down upon what I did for a living. And I used to question myself and go like, hey, you know, you met me being a singer, so how is it that now it's an issue? And it was constant looking down upon, you know, the fact that, you know, this is what you do. Can you find something else? Why is it that all of you behave this way? Why do you feel that you know, it was you people, why, and all that. And this is so important that you have to take a stand and speak up. And in such a relationship, you know, I always say, relationships are kupita pita. You know, please walk away.
It's true. It's true.
Run, you know, and that's what I did. But I did
Mm.
let them know that, you know what, I'm happy with what I do for a living, and this is what you actually made me feel, and I'm not happy about it, and sorry won't do. This is over. So it is good to speak up.
Very true. Very true. Yeah.
And to take a stand.
Yes.
You know, and not to be apologetic about it.
Exactly.
You know,
Don't be apologetic
Don't be
about
apologetic
it.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also in line with your story, I think it's important for people to also get to know who they are. Self-identity.
Yes.
It's very, very critical. Who are you?
Yes.
Who are you? Because if you don't know who you are, you don't have what Dr. Miles Monroe calls attitude,
Yes.
belief system. If you don't have that within you,
Yes.
then whatever people say or do towards you,
Yes.
ideally, you
Will
know, you end up
affect you.
believing it,
Yeah.
or
Absolutely.
affects you.
Yeah.
So getting to know who you are is very, very critical. For you, you knew, you know, this is my line, this is where my gifting is, this is where my passion is, and you decided to stick right there.
Yeah.
So it's important for people to get to define who they are. And the best thing of it all, as scripture says, as a man thinks, so he
So
is.
easy.
easy.
Yeah.
So it's important in terms of your thought patterns and what you think of yourself.
Yeah.
So that when you have all these things coming, because it's difficult for you to say, you know, I'll have people around me who will not abuse me. You know, it's hard. You don't know what life has in stake. It could be in the workplace.
Yeah.
It could be with your friends. It could be your family member.
Yeah.
So, I mean, begin with yourself. At the very first hand, get to know who you are.
Yeah.
And take a stand, as you've said.
Yeah. Just take a stand, even amongst friends, when somebody is busy trying to say, it could be simple, like slight remarks or condescending remarks about what you do, or nyinyi mnakuanga hivi, or this is what you people do, and everything. It's good to just take a stand right there and say, no, I'm actually proud of our profession, and we're not like this.
True.
And I think they will respect you for that. They begin to look at you in a different sense, especially when it comes to friendships. You know,
Yes.
when you're able to stand out, people are able to look at you and say, okay, there's something peculiar and different about this person.
Yes.
You know? Yeah, and I like what you said about you know, getting to know who you are, because most of the times our actions and our character flows from our thought patterns, you know. So there are some things, like you said, we just don't take it, just don't take some things.
Very true. Very true.
Awesome. So you can get in touch with us on CITAM Church Online through our Facebook page, Instagram page. We love to hear your feedback. We're all about you. Let us know whatever it is that you want to talk about. We're here for you. Our lines have changed, but do free to identify the new lines and get in touch with us. This is CITAM Church Online Youth Cafe. We'll see you next time.